Welcome back, everyone, to We Talk Film. Your host, Barry, joined by Clayton, as always. How are things, Clayton? How are you going?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm enjoying our theme song. I forgot how good it was.
It's a great theme song. It hits hard.
It's great. We're never going to be able to find anything better.
No.
We need to change it eventually.
One day, if we make money on the podcast. But hey, at the moment, we're doing all right. We do this for fun.
We do. And today we're bringing a whole bunch of fun topics. Because we're starting off throwing away to the news as we always do. But when we come back, we're going to be going to an interview, something new for us.
Yes.
We're going to start trying to bring more and more of that. I'm going to try and talk to a bunch of local people involved in the filmmaking process and hopefully just keep building up from there. See who we can get on the show to talk about all sorts of things film. We're taking our name very literally with this new segment.
So if you work in film and you want to be part of the podcast, leave a comment down below or shoot us a message on any of our social medias.
Hit us up.
We'll
take anyone.
We'll take anyone.
No,
literally, I host this thing. We literally will take anyone.
That's gonna make our introduction of who we've interviewed sound really bad now.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah. Today I'm talking to Mark Zanosov, film producer, award-winning writer, director, and friend of the show. So we'll be doing that a little bit later. And then after that, Barry, what's our main topic for tonight?
Then after that, we're going to be talking about Captain America: Brave New World. And the not-so braveness of that world.
Woo. All right, throw us on over to the news, Barry.
On to the news. Pretty sure that's also copyrighted.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. First story this week, we got a trailer for Andor Season 2. This is something I'm very excited about. I just think this may be the worst Star Wars trailer we've ever seen.
No, there's been worse. There's been worse.
Like a trailer that's been worse? I think this is a bad trailer.
It just had bad music. Very bad music.
They just threw the whole vibe off.
It's like Gladiator again.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gladiator didn't have the music in the movie, I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't remember, to be honest. Did it?
It did.
I don't remember Gladiator 2. I remember it being just really boring.
Don't talk about that.
Andor looks cool.
Yeah. Looks very cool.
I'm excited for more Andor. This is the final season, so it's not going to drag out. They're not going to end it on a cliffhanger.
Yep. Well, we kind of know how it ends or begins or whatever.
Yeah, spoilers, he dies. That's fine. We also got a first look at the Masters of the Universe live-action film, including casting. If I was to ask you, who you think a good fit for Skeletor, one of the most famous villains in movie TV history, who would you realize, who would you want to cast as that? Maybe someone.
Mark Hamill.
So yeah, that'd be a good choice.
That would be a good choice.
Someone with a really good voice.
Yeah.
Or maybe what about Dr. Michael Morbius himself?
Yeah, definitely
Jared
Dr.
Leto?
Michael Morbius himself.
Yeah, well, they agree with you because Jared Leto is playing Skeletor. As well as a whole bunch of other actors that I had not heard of, so I'm not going to complain about them. But this feels like a weird...
what he's actually going to do on set, he's going to rip off his own skin, and so it's just going to be a skeleton, and he has to make everything practical, and he has to be a method actor. So that's what he has to do now. He's committed.
See, now I'd pay to see that movie. No, that sounds awful. Look, who knows? Maybe he'll surprise us and he'll be really good. He's a very weird guy.
Oh yeah.
So maybe in some roundabout way he'll end up playing this guy really good.
Hey, yes, I'm Skeletor. How you doing? I'm Jared Leto.
He needs to do
It's
that.
also I don't know if he can do the voice. Well, that's the thing.
Because what's his name? Oppenheimer did it for the original show and everything like that, and then Mark Hamill did it for recent shows.
Yes.
And it's such a weird cast institution out of all the cast for that show. It's just or movie, whatever it is. It's just and Jared Leto's Skeletor. Like, what?
They should have done it like they did Darth Vader. Where they just give him the voice, hire the voice actor, and then just have a different dude with the mask on.
Yeah.
It's not like you need to see his face. Yeah, he's probably going to be CGI the entire time.
And you can sound like this the entire time.
Yeah. That's very weird. Okay,
Yeah.
final story that I'd like to bring up this week is DC's Clayface film. We got a little bit more
Ooh,
information about
yes.
that. Very surprising announcement for that to even be a film. But also,
Mm-hmm.
it's confirmed to be part of the DCU, so James Gunn's new universe.
Yep.
Universe. And it's also going to be an R-rated body horror.
Yes.
Um,
Did you also see what the actual budget might be for this film?
I did not.
Apparently, it's only going to be around 50 mil.
Only for
Only.
a heavily CGI.
Well, that's the
what
thing.
we think would be heavily
we
CGI.
think we might be heavily CGI. But since it's what's his name? I forget the guy who's directing it and doing it all. Because he did like Netflix stuff and he does a lot of horror stuff and everything like that. And did like Doctor Sleep, and I'm like, I really like his stuff, but I forget his name right now. But yeah, that's the thing. Like when I saw that budget or potential budget, it probably will be more because it's a DC property type thing. But I'm just like, if they keep it low and it's going to be R-rated, I'm just like, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this now a bit more. Because that's the thing.
Yeah?
You lower the obviously amount of money they have, they're a lot more freedom than like the directors and creators of the show normally have.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm in
It
for
could be fun.
Be like the
Could be
Fly
fun,
type
yeah.
situation.
See, that would be kind of cool. It'd have to be this little self-contained story. You might hint at like Batman or something,
Yeah.
but it could be a cool thing to set up and have him show up in something DC Batman related later.
Well, that's because he's
I
already
just-
showed up
yeah.
in Creature Commandos.
Yes, but this is
So-
supposed to be an origin story for him.
Yeah.
So it's obviously gonna be set before that.
Before
I
that.
don't know
Maybe.
how the wibbly wobbly timey wimey
Yep.
universe shenanigans. They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever. It's James Gunn.
Yeah, very cool. But anyway, that's it for the news this week. Slow week. Why don't we go ahead and throw us on over to the first ever We Talk Film interview?
Yes.
So yeah, throw us on over to my conversation with Mark Zanosov. Welcome, Mark. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Clay. It's a pleasure.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. So Mark, I do have to ask for the audience sake of who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, I forgot to have my resume up in front of me. No, but I'm a filmmaker, a film producer, an editor, and then I just do the odd little bits. But yeah, I've been working in film for about 3 to 4-ish years. I got into it quite young, and yeah, so now I'm trying to make some fantastic films and push them out to the public and feed them down everyone's throats.
Yes, definitely. Well, speaking of fantastic films, well, you're here today because you produced a short film that's doing the rounds in sort of the local scene. There's a lot of speculation. People are pretty excited for the release of this short film, titled Blunt. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm glad they're excited. I put a lot of time and effort into making them excited, riling them up. So it's good to hear. It's good to hear. Hopefully, it makes international waves, as they say. But yeah, Blunt's a film. It's I guess some people would call it a cooking drama, but it's generally what the film is about. It's about an aspiring kind of young chef that's I guess fights and battles to prove himself while working at a struggling restaurant, as I'm sure we've all done, whether it's at restaurants or not. And then yeah, he's obviously faced with a lot of pressure from a skeptical family and threats of closure, and his desire to move on to the next level. So he's got to be determined and be this young incredible guy that tries to save the restaurants or move on to the next step and get into a top tier cooking school and become the chef of his dreams. I guess that's what the idea is.
Yeah, it all sounds very exciting. I cannot wait to watch it. I do have to wonder how you became attached to this project. Were you attached as a producer from the start, or did you come on later? Did this come across your desk, so to speak? Like, how did that all come together?
Yeah, so my assistant that I work with, she just threw it on my desk, the script, and I went, genius, give him $1 billion. No, as is with like a lot of indie films, what you kind of have to do is, you find films and see if, if people are interested in working with you and if it's an interesting script. So actually, it's a funny story. I saw a post from these guys, Archie and Louis, the writers and actually the actors in the film. They posted I think it was a photo of them writing, one of those photos that you take after, writing something, and let's put it on the gram. And I saw that and I was thinking, oh, like, worth a shot. So I text the account. I text, are you guys looking for a producer? And they're like, oh, maybe. And I'm like, great. I'll make you a little pitch, and then we go from there. They're like, yeah, okay. So they make a pitch, and of course they were all up in arms and amazing. No, they were quite happy with what they saw though, and we really kind of got straight into I guess getting the money, and then turning the script from a 30-page, 12-location monster into nice and condensed 13 pages and a couple of 5-ish locations to really simplify. And huge journey that obviously happened in front of us. I think we started in what was it, May last year. So it's been a while. It's been a while since then, but it's fun. It's great, and finding little films like this is the peak of my existence, I guess.
So when you come across something like this, have you done this before, reached out to become a producer on certain things? Because I know you've directed and you've written your own work, but in terms of this set of circumstances, have you done anything similar?
Definitely not seen an Instagram post and decided to reach out. The other stuff I've produced is either connections or, someone kind of recommends me, or, same with editing, really. You don't really, I've reached out, but it's never been a case of, I don't know this guy, but I might as well get him on. This was really lucky, and it was so good because these guys, Archie and Louis, really young, which is, what I am. And I think we just really resonated after kind of chatting a little bit. So, I think I got, at the right time in the right place with the right people. So that was one in a lifetime.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked about being attached pretty early on with just the writers. So I'm curious how much creative involvement you had on this story and this film as a whole, as a producer.
Yeah, Archie and Louis would say I only destroyed their scripts, but I would say that different. No. What I came in with is the idea that we obviously, need to make the script realistic. As a producer, I obviously love to, throw ideas and make it beautiful, but obviously I leave that to mostly the writers. That, if they need to write something, I let them write for sure. But really what I kind of was mostly involved in is turning it from as I said, 30-page, 12 or more location script into a very, realistic goal, especially under our budget, of literally about, I think it was 13 or 14 pages in the end, and it was 5 locations, one of which was tiny. So realistically what my job on a lot of these projects is, keeping this vision and making sure that the writers are still super happy with, what they've worked on for years, but then making it achievable and then watchable and then distributable to sendable basically to film festivals, because you always want to keep it under 15 minutes for shorts, unless there's a big justification of why it's longer.
Yeah, no, very cool. It's so cool to hear that you were involved throughout the whole process, even as just more of a logistical side of things. But that it must have been just a huge undertaking from everyone's behalf. So I do wonder, when you've cut that down to the 13 pages that it ended up being, what was the next step in order to get this made? Was it finding people or finding funding, or was it a mix of both?
Yeah, because how it works is you come onto the project and the first meeting is so what do we do? And it kind of all happens at once. If you see how many meetings we had in just development, you might cry. I do every time I look at it. No, we had in I think from May to, we shot in middle of September, right? So from May to about August, we had pure development, right? And that's ages, because what we had is, yes, we had a script that needed to be tuned up, but we also did a lot of crowdfunding. We did a lot of investment stuff. We did a lot of events. We had a Blunt Fest, which was a whole music festival for Blunt. We worked together to invite artists and, hire out a place and try and make some more money from that. And then, obviously the whole crowdfunding thing. We did a lot of social media content. Check it out on our Instagram, Blunt Short Film. No, we did a lot of content, did a lot of stuff, and basically, like, that happens and that flies at you very fast and all at once, and then you just have to start sorting it out. So we sat down on Google meetings for about, I don't know, 25 times. I've got all the minutes, and we just talked for hours about what's next and what needs to be done with the script, what needs to be done with crowdfunding, funding, everything else. And we kind of did that for months until we felt happy with where we're at, and to go into pre-production and obviously shooting.
Yeah, wow. So I'm curious, how long was this shoot? Because it wasn't that crazy. It was quite condensed in how you shot it, at least from the outside perspective that I had.
Yeah, well, we shot for 5 days, right? Like, and some people would say very much like, you do development and pre-production for multiple months, from March to, basically September, and then shoot for 5 days, and then post-production for another 3 months or so. It's wild, right? Like, you have to plan a lot to even shoot for 5 days, basically. But yeah, it was a 5-day shoot, mostly night shoots, which I'm. You can talk to my crew, but they're still no. I think they loved it. A lot of them loved it. It was a nice atmosphere, but it was quite late. Like, I think one time we had to shoot until I think it was 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just because of scenes, like the way they were structured and the way that the script was timed out, and the locations and the times in the script. But yeah, I mean, it's all about making your crew happy with the meals and the chit chat and the atmosphere, and that's what kind of gets you the allowance to keep your crew on that long and not leave. So
Yeah, no, definitely. On the actual shoot itself, I am curious because you were just producer on this film. That is like your main credit, right?
That's right. Yeah, producer, and I mean, I put locations as well, just because I manage the locations and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's basically just producer duties.
Yeah. So I'm curious, on the shoot itself, like what was your role looking like? Was it just keeping people happy, making sure things are running on time?
Yeah, I mean, it's problem solving, right? And that's what really any producer does. If they don't have, a line producer and a unit production manager and all those people that I cannot afford yet. But yeah, just making sure that things are running. And when we were shooting in Fremantle in the middle of the streets, when the homeless drunk man comes at us, it's making sure that guy stays away from the shooting crew, and making sure that, the unit is happening and that, approving any spendings. And sometimes it is just sitting on a couch and letting people do their jobs, and really just enjoying it, because once you go through many months of stress, the way you kind of have to as a producer, which I love. I love going through it. It feels good in the end. But yeah, sometimes you just need to take a seat, and if everything's going smooth, thank God that it keeps going smoothly.
Oh, definitely. From my experience, there's never a dull moment on a film set, and there's also never like a moment that's not fun. Even if things are falling apart, as long as you're having fun, it's the best place ever.
That's right. Yeah. Until you're stressing and, you've got a phone in one hand and someone's hand in your other hand and you're telling someone else off the phone. That's when it gets real fun, right?
Oh, it's great. I miss it every day that I'm not on a set.
Exactly. No, that's very true.
Back to Blunt real quick. I know you mentioned that film festivals is your like desired approach. You're going internationally, you're going national. Like, what's your distribution plan looking like?
Yeah, so we've entered about 20 film festivals. Most of them are between Australia and America, a couple of European ones, and yeah, that's kind of it. But yeah, most of them are between America and Australia, just because, and they are quite big ones. Because that's just the audience that I felt fit blunt. Because it's quite a standard story. It's not European in the sense of it's not an art house film. And I think it almost gives off the vibes of The Bear. It has the score of challenges almost, very inspired by Whiplash, all those films, and it's just very American in the way we made it. So yeah, the Australian American big audience was the one I felt was right, and I guess we'll hear from them in about a month's time is when we start hearing from film festivals like Tribeca and St. Kilda and Venice Short Film Festival and a couple of others. That's very excited, and Cannes, but that's a pipe dream. But yeah, so it's very exciting, and we're looking forward to seeing what they tell us.
That is very exciting. You must be waiting for those emails every day.
Yeah, no, looking at how much it drained the bank account. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes. I'm sure. So do you, after this film has its supposed festival run, I'm sure everyone's going to love it and it's going to come out in all of them, Cannes
Hopefully.
included.
Yep.
What's the plans from there? Would online distribution be the way to go on places such as like YouTube or Vimeo?
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's the normal way. It depends. If let's say best case scenario in my eyes is some festival picks it up, let's say Tribeca. They see it, a distributor sees it, loves it, and then put it on demand on their paid paywall site, right? We make a little bit of royalties off it, and it's still going to be online, but it would just not be on YouTube. It'd be on something else. And yeah, that way we can, short films don't make money, but that's the one possible way you could ever make a cent off of it. And yeah, if not, then yeah, we put it on YouTube and move on and do some promotion. Obviously, we want as many people to see it as possible, so we'll make sure everyone knows where it is as soon as we post it.
Yeah, totally. I'm curious though, because short films, as I feel like the industry is sort of changing in a positive way towards short films, and I'm wondering if you're seeing this too, where it seems like there's a lot more interest in them, especially on places like YouTube where they're so easily accessible. So I'm just curious if you think that more and more people are getting into short films as opposed to standard features.
Yeah, I think looking at the attention span going lower and shorter and shorter. Yes, definitely, for sure. At some point, I think 10 years in the future, we'll just watch 5-second films and then we'll be happy with that. So no, but like that. I mean, that's a big part of it. I definitely think when you're scrolling through YouTube, you don't want to click on a 30-minute video. You want to click on a 15-minute one or a 10-minute one. So yeah, short films are definitely going to be one of the things that is easier to watch on YouTube, more accessible because you don't want to make a short film too long anyways. So yeah, I think obviously like a short film is a calling card, and with YouTube being, YouTube and Instagram and all those short form content places, they just allow you to post your works that are short and make sure that you have a calling card that you can then show I don't know, people, that investors later on. Like, you post it on YouTube, you get wonderfully 10 million views, 10 million likes, whatever. You could make a bit of money from that, for example, but then you can also show it to people later on and go, hey, there's a big audience that's interested in what I do, and I would love to make it a feature, and show it to in cinemas, etc. And like, that's a great attempt or strategy. So yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like what's favorable, it's I'm still not going to sit down and just watch a short, but definitely I'm more compelled to watch it than, maybe, I don't know, some people back then when they didn't have YouTube and it wasn't so, in your face, and that short form content was a little bit less interesting. People wanted to sit down for longer. So yeah, I guess short films are quite more popular than they've been before, I guess.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I am curious with a short film, for example. I'm wondering how you would define whether a short film is a success or not. Would it be reaching that audience, or getting into festivals, or just simply being out there?
I think, yeah, it depends what you want from a short film. You kind of have to set goals for yourself, in a way, because let's, say for Blunt, for example, we've sent it to 20 film festivals. We won't hit all 20. That's just doesn't happen. But for me, and I think a lot of my team, us getting into 5 of those short film festivals, which is, again, it's like a 25% chance, which is even like higher than usual. But getting into even 5 of them, or even one, like getting into Cannes, to me, is Blunt is a very successful short film, even if we just get into Cannes, because you start to gain connections from that, and really kind of depends what you want from a short film, right? Do you want to gain connections? Do you want to make it into a feature? Do you want to put it somewhere that's paid? And I don't think Blunt is going to be a feature. It's possible, and maybe someone sees some interest in it, but I think for us, a big success for Blunt would be to get those more industry connections and get better known, because obviously we're all young, and we want to get our names out there, and then meet some fantastic people that can help us bring our future ideas to life.
Yeah, no, you're making me more and more excited to watch it eventually.
Hopefully, it's I'm hoping everyone is very keen, and I hope the film festivals are as well, on the big screen. I mean, because it's exciting.
Totally. Okay, Mark, so I do have to ask, this is a question that I'm sure everyone asks when you mention that you've done a short film and that you're a producer, is that for someone who wants to step into this role, say as a producer on something like a short film, what would be some advice you would give them, or even a younger you getting into this position?
It's a good question. I think I think do a lot more than you think you need to is good advice in general, because if you can do it, sometimes for free and on a project that's quite small, you will definitely be able to do it on a project that's larger. But also, when you're looking for, let's say, locations, and like funding, start it always earlier than you think you need to. Always look for cast, always look for locations and stuff like that a lot earlier than you think you should, because those things get really tricky. I think in the end, just like don't jump at everything, is good advice, and find the best thing that you can, really, and then go with that. Basically, just don't jump at every opportunity, because there's better ones that come after that. And not talking about Blunt. Blunt was a fantastic opportunity, but control your time. Do a lot more than you need to in prep, because then it's going to be better. And start looking at things. And if you're literally on a film and you're producing it, start looking for locations and cast, and sometimes even crew, way before you think. If anyone else thinks that, I think we need this location, I think we need this, cast member, etc. In terms of just stepping into the role, like let's say you're not on a short film yet and you just want to step into producing in general, just be friendly, be really nice, and be really supportive and communicative with other people in the industry, especially in WA. We're such a small little place, so you kind of want to be nice to people, and you want to care about their ideas, so they care about what you have to say or what you can do. So just prove yourself, go on sets as a assist, as a runner, as a PA, as a sometimes whatever role you feel like, and then talk to people, because you never know, someone might have this next script that they're writing. It's a short or a whatever, and maybe you really want to jump on it. Maybe you're really keen about it as a producer, and to make it real. So yeah, just talk to people, and projects start kind of coming your way eventually.
Yeah. Spoken like a true producer is just preparedness, communication, and then more preparedness.
It kind of is. Like at the end, I think that's all what I should have said, but I obviously went the long route. But yes, that's absolutely right. Preparedness. Be very prepared. And then communicate. It's very correct.
Totally. Oh, so Mark, is there anything after Blunt? Anything in the works? Anything that you can talk about or want to bring up?
Oh, I've signed so many NDAs, No, but yes, lots of stuff. I've got a couple of short films that I'm looking into right now. We're at the start of the development for some, and a couple of music videos that I've got planned this year. But if anyone wants to throw a feature my way, don't be afraid. No, but yeah, a lot of works, a lot of stuff, of course. Nothing set in stone yet, nothing into pre-production just yet, but it's only the start of the year, early March, which means, I'll probably be shooting it in May, August, September, and some of it hopefully a little earlier, but we'll see. But no, yeah, lots of stuff coming up, and I'm very excited about all of it. And then, in the meantime, hoping that Blunt's gonna be doing big rounds.
It's all very exciting. Okay, Mark, I have one final question before I'll let you go today. And I'm wondering if there's anything that you've seen recently. It could be a movie, a TV show, a short, or just absolutely anything that you feel like deserves audience's attention. Anything that you want to bring attention to or highlight?
Yeah, I'm watching, a lot of big stuff that I don't think people need to watch more of. I was just before this call I was watching Succession, but I don't think that needs more promotion. But stay on the lookout for a lot of short, like small projects, because those grow into big projects very quick. Especially in Perth, where literally everyone knows everyone. What have a lot of the stuff that was recently shot with some amazing creative. Zero, the feature film that was just shot recently, is doing reshoots in a bit, and is going to be going into post, and is going to be out sometime in the near to somewhat near future, and that's a fantastic project that so many people worked on, and it's fantastic. And then a lot of the short films that you might all know the DOP of Blunt, James Dudfield. He shot a lot of stuff recently, and which is very exciting, and all of his work. And another short film called Truth to Power that I was actually just on. That was produced by Jamie Peasley and directed by Tim. But that one's fantastic, really good, and it had Miles in it, who's he's a fantastic actor, but he was a neighbor to me. What was it, like 8 years ago, and it was fantastic reuniting with him there. So all of those projects, many more that I simply don't know about or forget, but all of them should be supported, especially in the Perth industry, because we all need a bit of support, and someone to just tell us that we're doing good, sometimes. So support everything.
Definitely.
Especially if you're working on film.
Everyone go definitely check out everything that Mark just mentioned, and also keep an eye out for Blunt, that will be hopefully entering every single film festival ever. And hopefully we'll all be able to see that sometime soon. So thanks very much, Mark, for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Absolutely. It's been real fun. And go check it out. Go check our Instagram at Blunt Short Film. Keep in touch, guys. We'd love to hear from you and your support, and what you think about it all. So thank you so much for having me.
So yes, welcome back to the podcast, the regular part of the podcast, and thanks for Mark coming onto the podcast and having an interview with Clayton. It was actually a really good interview. saying
Barry
like
hasn't
I've
heard it yet. Yeah, Barry hasn't heard it yet. I'm adding it separate. I recorded
That's
the two
show
parts.
business,
Yeah,
everyone.
we're revealing too much of the curtain here. Like
There's a curtain.
ruining our
What?
immersion. They think we do this live. They
They
still
think
do
it's a
that. They still
camera.
think.
That was funny. That was funny when we fooled a few people when we did a premiere one time, and they all thought it was live streaming the podcast.
That's right.
That was
yeah.
a good time.
People were like trying to comment. It was weird.
Yeah,
we
good
were
times.
not there. We weren't involved.
So back onto the regular schedule part, we are going to be talking about Captain America: Brave New World, the newest Marvel film this year. So I've got a little clip for us here to play.
What if this is a trap? You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
So yes, that was the trailer, or bit of the trailer of Captain America: Brave New World. And if you've seen the trailer, you've basically watched the entire film. That's it. You don't need to go and see it.
Honestly, I wish that I just watched the trailer because then it would have been like a nice memory of this sweet little 2-minute look at Red Hulk and
Yep.
Anthony Mackie, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what, that's cool.
Exactly.
But put that on Disney Plus in
Yep.
its own little special presentation, and then
That's
just
what it
move
needed
on.
to be. Yep. Just Harrison
'Cause,
Ford
yeah.
getting angry.
This movie. I don't know where to start on this absolute.
Let us begin
Yeah,
with the
okay.
description of what the story was meant to be. According to
Is there a
IMDb.
story?
The
How long is the description?
storyline.
3 words.
Sometime
turned
after
red.
the events of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show on Disney Plus, if you haven't watched it, Sam Wilson has now fully embraced his title as the new Captain America. Now Sam is summoned to the White House as the new President Ross wants to work with him rebuilding the Avengers. But trouble ensues when Sam's friend Isaiah Bradley uncontrollably tries to assassinate the president and is framed for the attempt. Now Sam and his partner Torres, also now the new Falcon, must race against time to uncover the true culprits and foil an evil plot unwittingly involves President Ross. Dun
Yeah,
dun
as
dun.
As boring and lame as that sounded, that little minute speech you've given was more entertaining than the film.
Yeah, that's why I was just like laughing when I was like going through it, because I'm just like, this sounds so much better than what the film actually is.
It makes me feel a little upset because
Yeah.
going into this film, I didn't have high expectations, but I had some expectations. I
Yes.
love Anthony Mackie. I think he's great as the Falcon. I've always
Yep.
loved when he shows up. He's always a fun time. And Harrison Ford's a great actor. He's one of the greatest
It's
actors
Harrison Ford.
of all time, right? He's been dozens of political thrillers just like this. He feels like the perfect guy to step into Thunderbolt Ross's shoes.
Yep.
The guy that plays the Falcon was cool for what he did in the show. He was in it for a little bit, and I liked him.
Danny Ramirez, let's go.
Yeah. Danny Ramirez. That's it. I was like, you know what? I'm confident in those 3,
Yeah.
and that seems to be the story. And then somehow they made all 3 of those people extremely bland and unlikable.
Yes.
And also Giancarlo Esposito was like added in post, and there's a
right.
whole thing because this film had probably the worst production of any MCU film post Endgame. I actually think that's true. It has
Yes.
the worst production. 4 lots of reshoots,
Yep.
rewrites, including adding an entirely new character, which is the central premise somehow. I don't
Yeah.
know how that
That
works.
was just, I don't know either.
And also, everything you see of Red Hulk in the trailer, which is the whole trailer, is all you see of Red Hulk in this film. He's there for about 7 minutes at the end.
And that's it.
That's-
That's the movie,
that's
everyone.
Captain America,
Time to
guys.
go home.
Go to the next one instead. If I wanna say
Exactly.
just
Just skip
Thunderbolts,
this
maybe.
one. Well, here's the thing. This film, like was talking about, was literal production hell, and you can visibly see it in the film itself. There are so
Literally.
many inconsistencies with story, with camera, with CGI, with whatever the fuck was going on. I'm sorry, but this
Yeah.
was just like a whole nother level of bad coming out of Marvel this time. And this is the
Yeah.
first film for 2025, and it's not a good look.
No, I mean we got 3 films coming out this year. We got Thunderbolts in like a month or two, and then
Yeah.
Fantastic Four in July.
Yeah.
But both of those look good, and it's honestly soured my expectations for those
Yes.
now because, and I know that like the crews are not quite the same, but the head guys, it's still the same head guys approving shit.
Do the same, guys.
So
Still the one guy.
it's really disappointing. But speaking of the inconsistencies, this is supposed to be like a political thriller on the scale of like Winter Soldier. They keep throwing
Yes.
that at you. It's like
Yeah.
it's like this one. It's like the old Cap. It's like the best Captain America movie. It's the same thing. It's not. The main villain of this. Okay.
Probably the best way to describe it, it is a somewhat sequel film to a 20-year-old film that doesn't even have Hulk in this film, but the story is about Hulk and his
Yeah.
villains. And it's just
Okay,
like,
yeah, this is a
what?
direct. It's a direct sequel to 2008's The Incredible Hulk, with none of the cast returning except for Betty Ross, who's in it for like 2 seconds.
And
for some
the guy
reason.
that played the
Oh, and
Samuel Stones.
The villain. See, I forget the villain because he was
Yeah.
so lame. How do you
Yeah.
make the leader lame?
Yeah.
Like he's cool. His whole thing is mind control. You win. That's perfect political thriller. But in
Yep.
this film, if they turn their phones off, they've beaten him.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. They
Yep.
put your phone on airplane mode and you win.
So
You
those
beat the
contexts who
guy.
haven't seen the movie, basically there's like a
Oh,
memory
yeah.
thing that he's done and everything that he can like send a song through people's phones and stuff like that. And as soon as people start hearing it, they get brainwashed, and then that's how they want to kill the president or like
Yeah.
turn on one another. And it's a whole thing. And it's just
It's supposed to be a whole thing, but they figure it out 5 minutes
Yeah.
into the film and just keep their phones on for the rest of it.
they do.
Like
They
Harrison
do.
Ford's answering phone calls from the guy later on, being like,
Yeah.
"Why are you calling me? I'm gonna stop you." And then he gets turned into Red Hulk because of it. And it's like, everyone in this movie is an idiot,
Yes.
and they're all so
Yes.
like lame. They're not even having fun with it. If it was dumb and funny or like just silly, I'd be kind of into it. But it's not. It's trying to be serious, and it's trying to take these characters extremely seriously,
Yep.
including the Falcon. Sorry, not the Falcon. Now that he's Captain America,
He's Captain
Anthony Mackie.
America now. Yeah.
He is Captain America, and I like him as Captain America, but
Yes.
they just watered him down to be like the most one-note character in this entire film.
Yeah.
It's just he stands there and he's like truth and justice, and he doesn't joke, he doesn't have any fun, he barely smiles. It's like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do serious, make it serious. But he doesn't care about what's going on, and so that's probably my biggest gripe is they've just wasted Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie's first proper Captain America.
Exactly.
Experience.
And that's coming down, I think, to just so much of the story changing in between it all and stuff like that so many times. And I feel so sorry for the director of this because I think it was his like first ever big film as well. Yeah, Julius Onah. It was like his first ever like big budgeted film and stuff like that. But obviously, producers stepped in, and Disney once again, and were like, "Oh, we weren't happy with this. We have to change it. Oh, we're not happy with this. The test screening didn't go well. We have to go back and do more reshoots and just change it." And this was the thing, because of all that, there's so many just added elements that go nowhere in this film. Obviously, the biggest thing was, Esposito's character, Sidewinder, which if you don't know from the comics, he's a very big like villain in the Serpent Society and stuff like that. But in this film, they're just random hired goons that are dumb and just be like, "Oh, we're gonna kill Captain America" type thing. "Oh, now go find bad guy. Oh, wait a minute, I'll go kill Captain America again." And he just feels those scenes when we do see it just felt so added and so forced, and it just doesn't solve any like relevance to the main story. And at the end of the day, I'm still confused as to what story they were originally trying to like tell with all this, because it goes in so many different avenues and stuff like that. They even showed in one of the first trailers, there was different scenes in regards to the leader that weren't in the film.
Yeah, let's talk about the leader for a moment
Yeah.
because he is such a cool character in the comic books. And it seems to be exclusively the comic books because Jesus, my God, they did him so dirty. He's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
guy in a hoodie with like a little bit of like a green scalp.
He's got a brain
He's-
tumor.
it's slightly
essentially what it
brained.
is.
Yeah, his head looks slightly brained. Whereas in the comics, he's got this massive, like Megamind-sized green head, and he's got this
Yeah.
really distinct facial hair, and he's very like classic evil genius twirly mustache, dog as a sidekick look to him.
Yeah.
None of that's in this. He's an idiot. He's supposed to be able to like predict circumstances and have a really good guess at things, and I don't know mind control, but he doesn't do any of that. It's
Exactly.
yeah, they ruined
Yeah.
him. They ruined him.
Yep. And then obviously we get to the big thing that they're putting in all their promotion and stuff like that is obviously Harrison Ford coming in as Ross and being the Red Hulk and finally introducing that character after 20 years and stuff like that. And it was just done so poorly. So basically, like at the beginning of this film and everything like that, how it all begins is Ross brings Cap in to be like, hey, I want you to start the Avengers again. That's okay, cool. That sounds like a smart plan, even though
Sure.
after the Civil War events and everything, they do bring that up, which I thought, oh, that's quite a nice homage and talking about that. And then it was like, okay, that'll happen. Then Isaiah Bradley got mind controlled, shoot him. And then as soon as that all happened and stuff like that, Thaddeus is just like, no, like you're not starting the Avengers now. I'm doing this my way. And it was just like, what the fuck? Like you
I
literally
have
just
no
said
clue.
less than 5 minutes ago, literally in the movie, that you were wanting to change and be a better person. But he's like, no, this is back to wartime. Oh, we forgot about the biggest element of this film as well, which is adamantium, because they finally added the
Oh.
Celestial after
about
this
that.
is the first ever movie after Eternals where they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we got a giant Celestial sticking out of the ground, and on it
Yeah.
comes adamantium, which doesn't really solve, like there's no plot for that. There's nothing alluding to the X-Men or Wolverine or any other thing in regards to adamantium whatsoever.
No,
for
they just
this
wanted to put it
film.
there.
They just wanted to put it there.
This movie feels like an excuse to just say we have adamantium now.
Yeah,
Like that's what it
It's a
feels
thing.
like.
it's a thing.
Genuinely, you could have just started the X-Men film with the Celestial we found in the ocean was full of adamantium, and then Wolverine gets it injected into him. There you go. There's your X-Men movie for 7 or 8 years when
Well,
you do
that's
that.
the thing now. Because of all that, are
It's
they gonna
weird.
like have a young Wolverine who gets weaponized like in modern times?
Okay, so I mean, maybe. I feel like they can just do it so that he's just had bone claws for a while, and then it's just now he gets the medal, sort of thing. Like you just give him metal claws now, but still have him be a 200-year-old soldier dude.
Yeah,
Like he's just been plotting around with bone claws. I don't know. It
This whole
seems like
movie
they
was
don't know
fucking weird.
either.
Even the what was the post-credit scene as well?
What was it? Oh, it was just him
Oh, it
talking to
was-
the leader,
Yeah, which was
and he's like, "The
all,
others are coming." He says, "The others
reshoots
are coming."
and stuff
Yeah, that
like
doesn't
that.
surprise me. That's
Yeah.
stupid. The others are coming. That's so lame. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
Yeah,
It's so stupid. We know about Secret Wars. That was announced
Like-
27 years ago
it was
Like-
announced before they even wrote this film,
and rewrote it 7 times.
and
My
rewrote it several
God.
hundred times.
I'm so curious to see what the original draft of this Captain America film
Yeah.
was. Because I
Because,
guarantee there's some good stuff there.
Yeah, there was potential for this to be really good and everything like that. Because obviously, like, yeah, it would have been like more along the lines of Winter Soldier, where like who could you trust type thing, because who's actually being
Yeah.
mind controlled and stuff like that. And if they were a bit more smart about it and like focused on that a lot more, and just focused on the relationship between Sam Wilson and Thaddeus Ross and everything like that, I feel like we would have had a bigger, better film. Be more
think
not
so.
for action spectacular, because that's what this movie tries to throw at you every 30 minutes. It's like action, action, action. Oh, now we just got to add in Sidewinder now. Action, 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 action. And it's just
Okay,
like, wow.
I will give it this. There are moments in the fight scenes that I really enjoyed. A
Like
lot of
him
the
riding on a
choreography.
missile.
See, I loved that. I know that you guys were like, what the hell is this? He surfs on a missile in order to put it in the ocean. I thought that was sick. I was all down for that level of stupidity. Because he's a guy that flies around with big metal wings.
I was
And
gonna wait
he's
for him to
surfing
say
on a missile.
cowabunga.
See, You see, that would have been amazing.
would've
Yeah,
been
you
great.
should have written this movie. No, I like that level of disbelief in my superhero stories. Have him surf on a missile. He's putting it in the ocean. He's doing something, and he looks cool while he's doing it. In the action, 100%. Was any of the action needed? Story-wise, absolutely not. There was not one single fight scene in this film that needed to be there. That he could have just, like, I don't know, flown away from, or just, like, stopped instantly, or done something about it. Terrible. Choreography was cool. Whoever did the choreography for this,
Yeah.
I think they should keep working at Marvel because they were good.
It was done very well.
But I'm betting a lot of that is because, it's very hard to reshoot action scenes that are full of billions of dollars worth of CGI. So they had to put them in somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
what was I gonna-
those elements
I
too
forgot what I
are
was gonna
really
talk
good. But yeah, there's so much information coming out now of like the crew just like releasing behind the scenes footage and pictures and stuff like that. Apparently there was like a whole scene with Thaddeus's daughter, Liv Tyler's character. She was actually came on set and actually did an acting thing on set. There was meant to be a whole scene with her that's just not in the film until the end. And that end part, right, that she got added in, that was just CGI. That wasn't actually done with her and Harrison Ford in the same room. They just comped her in there.
That's so weird. Was it a schedule? It must have been a scheduling thing because it's one room, and very clearly a CGI room. Like put them in the same green screen. I don't know.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the
So
CGI
many
was
wrongs.
okay. We
with
can
these
talk. We can
films.
delve into the CGI as well because that was on and off. A lot of the stuff with Cap looked pretty good. All of the stuff with Red Hulk looked pretty bad. There's really good moments. It feels like they've nailed the Falcons CGI, the whole flying through the wings. That looks always cool. I was always down to see that. Red Hulk, as a still image, sometimes look pretty cool. And then also when Anthony Mackie is just at the end of the film, it's just an entirely different background where everyone else is, which was probably my favorite moment in the cinema watching this, is when Anthony Mackie is calming down the Red Hulk at the end of this film. And he's like, sun's getting real low, bullshit. And he's very clearly in another state filming this shit because the ground is a different like color, the shadows are all wrong, everything looks so bad. And then it cuts to someone else and they look completely different and they're standing next to each other. And I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is a $350 million film and they couldn't have
actually how much
spent a
was
week
the budget
to
for this
fix
film?
it.
How much
Find
did they
out what the
spend?
budget is. Because this is honestly some inexcusable shit from a movie with this price tag. And the worst thing is it's making money. People are seeing this and people are liking it. The general audience reception is
General audience
positive.
reception is good.
I'm so surprised. This is the most dog water, like, bland meal that Disney and Marvel could service. And people are like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. This is good. This is better than what we'll be getting. And it's like, is it? Like, this is one of the worst Marvel movies I've ever seen. Like, I think, like, Elektra. I have more fun watching that.
I have more fun watching Ben Affleck's Daredevil than watching this.
I unironically love that movie, so that's an unfair like comparison. But yeah, my God, it's just there's nothing here. It's
So,
like right in the middle of every kind of
estimated
movie. It's
budget
weird,
for
yeah.
this film because of all the reshoots and stuff like that.
Is it more than 350 or less?
$380 million.
$380 million. Oh my Lord. You could have made like 4 Clayface movies for that.
Yeah. So its original budget was only meant to be 180 mil.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How it doubled? Is that all just from reshoots? That it's
That
like
is
quadrupled?
basically, like during the reshoots and
That's
the CGI and
insane.
stuff like that. Because, they're saying like, the original cost of north of 180 mil. So probably like 200 mil, closer to that, most likely, was the original budget. But then obviously with reshoots and doing all things in, because I know, and the director, I think he actually came out and said this, like they redid like majority of the film with the reshoots.
You
I
can
think
tell.
the second set of reshoots and everything like that. So that's probably what cost him the most, and then doing all the additional reshoots. Then again, with all that, and then obviously like it goes down to the people that do the CGI for it. And the reason why there is so many bad elements with CGI. Bad background, because then they only have like a small schedule, like they only got like a month to do the CGI, probably even less, And that's the thing. When it comes to good CGI and everything like that, it takes time to do. Like,
Yes.
the computers don't do it that well yet. We're still evolving in that technology. It takes time. It's the reason why Avatar and all that take like a decade to make each and every single one.
Yeah, man. It takes that. Look, they got to render that shit. It takes like 4
Exactly.
years to do that. It's this movie. So they basically made it 3 times over, including spending that budget again and again. And I'm so concerned because at what point do Marvel go, okay, we spent too much money on this thing, or do they like just they double down and keep going? Because it's such a weird thing to go, okay, we spent 100 million on this film. Let's spend another 200 million because it's not working.
Yeah.
Rather than just shooting 2 new movies.
Well, its
It's
current
it's
gross
weird.
worldwide is at 289.
Oh, so it hasn't made money yet.
No.
Oh, I thought it had made money.
No.
Oh,
So gross worldwide,
okay.
according to IMDb, is only at 289 right now.
Right. No, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not good for the people that need to get paid, but the people that I want to get paid have already been paid. That's how
Yeah,
that
yeah.
works.
The people, the crew, and
Um,
everything like that, they've already been paid. Everyone's been paid for
Yeah.
it. This is just going to
So-
take a loss because that's the thing with how Disney works and everything like that. And this is the reason why they said they wanted to stop and only do like very small films and everything like that. And I knew this was going to bite them in the butt when they were doing all this because they were like, oh, because they obviously saw how well Deadpool and Wolverine did last year. The only reason why that film did so well was because you have Ryan Reynolds, who is a marketing genius, doing all the marketing for that film, and it was your only film that released that year. And they also were like, oh yeah, we're bringing Hugh Jackman back that everyone's watched for over 20 years.
Yeah.
That is the only reason why that made over $2 billion or whatever the fuck it made.
It seems like they tried to do a similar thing with this, but on the
Yeah.
banking of we have a Red Hulk,
Yeah.
and that
yeah.
was kind of it that they all had throwing at it. And I don't know how much like hope they had for this film either. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but I'm not sure if they just put it out because they had it and they want to further everything else. It feels like
Yeah.
just releasing it for the sake of pushing everything else forward.
Well, that's
It's
the thing, 'cause
introducing
this was
things
meant
for
to
other
come out
movies.
a while ago. It was meant to come out like
year
last
ago, wasn't it?
year. Yeah, a year
Got
ago.
delayed twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is it's crazy to feel from a Marvel movie, right? Like they
Yeah.
well nowadays they
That's the
quite
thing, because
often
I
do get
like
delayed.
the I really prefer now is the TV show, like the Falcon and the Winter
Do you?
Soldier TV show, the story more than this.
It's slightly better.
Yeah.
It has a
Just
really
because-
bad ending.
Yeah, mainly just because I feel like they did a better story with Sam Wilson's character in that than
Oh,
they did
100%.
with this. And
Yeah.
that's the thing.
They made him likable.
I feel so sorry for Anthony Mackie right now, being like, he is such a talented actor. He is such like a good Captain America and like meant to be the new Captain America. I could see him leading the Avengers and everything like
I
that.
want to. I
want
really
to.
want to see him lead the
But-
Avengers.
because they just dumbed down this movie so much from its actual potential of what it could have been and stuff like that, because I'm guessing the producers were just so scared of like trying to be like relevant to everyone in things and stuff like that they just made this like big muddle of all this stuff essentially.
Weird. It's weird. Do you think they were scared about like the whole Anthony Mackie Captain America of it? Where they're like, it's not Chris Evans, like we've got to do something here? Is that
Well, no,
something
because
that
they made a
is
TV
possibility?
show. They already did the TV show.
I feel like that's a little different. They had the Sebastian Stan and they had these like co-star levels. I mean, we have Harrison Ford here,
Yeah.
right? Which they were banking
Yeah.
on a lot, but they weren't really
Exactly.
banking on Anthony Mackie as much as I feel like they should have been.
Well, that's the
I
thing,
don't know.
and this has been the case for a long time now, and I think this is where like the mindset of a lot of producers are still kind of at, where basically if you have like a big name actor and stuff like that, according to a lot of producers and stuff like that, they're like, oh, if we put this actor in there, it's gonna make us like shit tons of money, blah blah blah. That has not happened in over 20 years. The last person to actually do that for films was Will Smith. Because when Will Smith was like a name and everything
Yeah.
back in the early 2000s, basically it was a guarantee like your film would make money. He was the last actor to actually do that, because we've seen time and time again now for the past like 5-10 years now we throw in these big names and a lot of other movies, not even Marvel and everything like that, and a lot of other films, and they don't make money. It comes down to the actual story and the actual creation of the film, and that's what people want to see. It's the reason why they lost so much money in 2023 with all the films that came out that year, and a lot of people were very unhappy with a lot of their films, and it's the reason why since Endgame, Marvel has been on like a descent type thing. It hasn't been good. It has not been good. And that's the reason why I'm so looking forward to like James Gunn and what he's doing now, because he is so much pushing for like your script needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
Type thing before we do any type of shooting. Like it needs to be locked in and perfect before they do anything else.
I agree.
And
I think
feel
that's
like
the moral.
That's what Marvel aren't doing that.
It doesn't seem that way, and who knows? Maybe Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four will surprise us with extremely well-written scripts.
I am looking forward to Thunderbolts. It's kind of like looks a little bit wackier, and they have a bit more freedom with what they're doing.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Like
Cautiously optimistic. Which, okay. I think that's the moral of today's episode. Write good movies, and movies will be good, right?
Exactly. Write good movies. Movies will be good. You hear that, Kevin Feige? We're writers. We'll do it for you.
We will. We'll do it for a lot less than $380 million. All right.
Yeah, we'll do it a lot less of it. Final thoughts and ratings.
Yeah, I'm sitting on a 3 out of 10 for this film. It's a very generous 3 out of 10. And it's a lot of that is just like the choreography is pretty cool. Some of the music's pretty cool. There are moments that I like. A lot of the moments I like are when no one's talking and it's stupid action. Because whenever someone is talking, I hate it and it's just awful. So yeah, 3 out of 10 for me.
Yep. And that's the thing. Yeah, it's got to be 3 out of 10 for me as well. This is the type of film that when it comes down to Disney Plus, you put it up for the kids, you throw it on in the background, you go and work on something else.
Do you? You have Winter Soldier right there. Like,
well, that's the thing. If I don't want to watch anything and I just want background noise, this is the film I'm putting up.
I think there's better background noise. Just personally. All right. I think that's it for us, Barry. We'll see you guys next week.
No, we don't have that. One more segment. He forgets that I have a quiz segment, everyone. Welcome.
He's got a what?
To Barry's quiz segment. If you weren't here for last week's episode, we also did it then, and we talked about Timothy Chalamet and James Mangold films. So this week,
I did okay.
He did okay. He did trash. He was horrible at it. So this week we are doing it again. I will give you a hint. This will probably make it a bit more easier for you. They're all Harrison Ford films.
Oh, yes.
Because
you're banking on Harrison Ford, just like this one.
I was banking on Harrison Ford, exactly, just like the film was. So I am going to give you a few little. How this works, everyone, is I will give Clayton a brief description that is really bad, like really bad. Some of them are, and he has to try and guess what film it is. You can play along at home as well and see if you get them as well. All right, so starting with number 1. We're going to start with the easy one for you. Man hates snakes, but keeps ending up in places full of them.
It's Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, I guess.
He got it. He got it. This is like Indiana Jones.
Can they all be like that? Yeah.
No, they're not going to be like that now. That was your one good one.
Okay. Han Solo.
There's no Star Wars. I'll tell you that now.
Damn it.
It's dead, just like him.
I give up.
A rich guy loses his wife and somehow makes it the entire city's problem.
Is that Fugitive?
Hey!
Oh,
I'm surprised you got that one.
I was not sure on that. I was like, I know he loses his wife and he's rich, but yeah, okay. 2 for 2.
This is another one. Man runs for president but forgets to lock the plane doors.
That's the Air Force One, isn't it? That's what's it called?
Yeah,
Air Force One.
Yeah, Air Force One. I'm surprised you actually got that one. Okay, this
I didn't quite like that movie.
Bit interesting. A guy has an affair and his wife takes it very personally.
There's an affair and his wife takes it personally. Oh,
you should know this one. You made a short film.
Is it? Oh, that's very why I takes it personally. Oh. Why am I blanking on this, Barry?
I can't believe you're actually
Jesus.
blanking on this.
I'm blanking on. I'm hung up on it, and I don't know why.
Okay. Well, just going
Pass.
back to it. What I just
Okay.
said. You made a short film. You directed a short film
I did.
called this exact thing.
Oh, it's What Lies Beneath.
There
Jesus
we
Christ.
go.
That's. Oh, I hope nobody listens to this. That's awful. That's terrible.
Oh man. That was bad. That was
Yeah, it's been a
really
while
bad.
since I watched that movie. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay.
You made the film.
That was a different film. That was a completely different film. There were no affairs in my one.
Man has a midlife crisis, so he buys a boat and moves his family to the jungle.
Harrison Ford jungle movie? Shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
he actually has a few of them.
Yeah, that's why I'm. Why am I so? See, these are catching me off guard.
This
My
is, I think,
Harrison
his most
Ford
famous
knowledge
one. His most famous
is
jungle
not
film. That's not Indiana
is
Jones.
is not as crazy as it should be. Jungle film.
I think it actually might be based on a book as well.
Maybe I might have to pass. Can I get another
slap
clue?
So many of them around all the time. They're constantly hitting me.
It's a mosquito. Mosquito Coast.
Hey!
Yeah, that's right. That's Peter Weir, isn't it? That's one
Yeah.
of his films. Yeah.
Okay. Last one. For all the
Uh-oh.
marbles. Here it
Marbles?
comes. I need a drum roll.
Oh,
All the
no.
marbles. All the marbles. All for Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
A man spends way too much time questioning robots.
That's Blade Runner.
Hey!
Yes,
Look at
I'm
that.
so
You
good at
got
this.
there. You
I got 'em
slowly
all,
got there.
with
You
no
got 'em
help.
all with a lot of help. I still can't get over you to say what lights beneath.
Oh, roll the credits,
Well,
Barry. That's embarrassing.
us for today, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. And thank you so much again, Mark, for coming and having an interview with Clayton. And I hope everyone liked it. And we hope to get more people on the podcast like that again coming soon. And as always, make sure to follow us on all our social medias everywhere. We'll be back next time talking about more films, more things, and more random wackiness. See you next time.
I spent $10 on that movie ticket, and I'm never getting that back.